guys, I'm Tamara Chambers, and this is episode 3 of Tamara's Never Seen. Oh my gosh, this is gonna bother me the entire episode. Hi guys, my name is Tamara Chambers, and I fixed my hair. Okay, now that that very important issue has been settled, I am watching The Secret of NIMH.
Tamara's Never Seen.
Okay, well, if you haven't seen The Secret of NIMH, you need to make that a priority today because it's incredible and I love it with all of my heart. And it's one of the best animated shows I've ever seen. It's so sweet. Hello, Wendy. She wants to be the new star. She's jealous of Ike. So if you haven't seen it, it starts off with Mrs. Brisby, who is the most courageous, pure, sweet female character that that I've ever seen in an animated cartoon movie. A wonderful, strong, and courageous woman character. I wonder if this movie is getting any hate. I sure am after that. So she goes and sees Mr. Ages, who is an adorable old man mouse, and he stirs up a potion to give to Timmy, her son, who has pneumonia and is dying. Also, I have to assume that having pneumonia as a mouse is really serious. Then you meet Jeremy the bird, who's tied up in string, and he's talking about meeting the love of his life, and he's hilarious, and I love him, obviously. Everyone knew that I was gonna love Jeremy. If you've seen the movie and you're watching this review, you already have called that I am going to love Jeremy with all of my heart. The star of this show is here. See what the internet can do? You'd be out of here by now if everyone didn't come to your defense. But now I'm like, oh, we're best friends. This is great, I love this. I'm not gonna push him out of frame at all. We are best friends though, I love Ike with all of my heart. Bye. Almost fell. Speaking of incredible felines, there's a cat in this movie, so obviously it's already the best movie ever. I love that there's a cat named Dragon so much, and I wrote, oh, this is my notebook with all of my notes, and I wrote down, wait, there's a cat named Dragon? Right, Game of Thrones reference later, and I didn't, so just know that I was going to, and then I didn't. I've not seen the show. I did read the books, though, so, I only read the first 4. So they go back to Mrs. Brisby's house, and you see all of her children, and she's got 3 healthy children and 1 sick, Timmy. Then their Auntie Shrew shows up. Auntie Swine? No, Shrew. Swine is a pig. They're rats. No, they're mice. Oh my gosh. I'm learning so much. What I love about the scene is Mrs. Brisby's healthy son, Martin, speaks up to Mrs. Auntie Shrew, and it's hilarious, and I wish I was that brave. He's like, you're a loudmouth, and she's like, whoa, I've had enough of that. And she leaves, and then she falls down the stairs, because comedy, and I love it, it's so cute. I have finally built up the courage to say this. You are a loudmouth. So you see Mrs. Brisby give Timmy the medicine that Mr. Ages gave her, and she's spooning it in, it's so cute. And he can't move for 3 weeks, that's the deal. He won't heal if he moves out of bed in the next 3 weeks. First of all, number 1, I will flip the fuck out if Timmy dies. I will flip. I don't know what I will flip, but I will flip something over. I will flip. That was string cheese. That was for Ike. If he wasn't gonna come over, I was gonna lure him in with string cheese. It's his favorite snack. Okay. Then you find out that NIMH means the National Department of Mental Health. National Institute of Mental Health. It's the National Institute of Mental Health because there's no D in NIMH. Good job, Tamara. But that's so weird that that is what NIMH means. This children's film is an acronym for National Institute of Mental Health. And until you get to the end of the movie and realize what the story is and what happened with all the creatures, you're just like, what the fuck, why? So then moving day comes, and that's when the farmers plow the land that the mice live on, so they have to move. And it's terrifying. So I missed this. In the beginning, there's this sorcerer dog. I thought it was a dog. It's not. It's a rat. But I thought it was this wizard sorcerer dog who's watching over all of these mice. This mouse, Mrs. Brisby, and her late husband, Jonathan. Her husband died, Jonathan. He's like, I love them, and this is a thing, and amulets. So, cut to the scene after the plow incident, and he is talking about them again, and he sees that she saves her son and stops the plow, and he's like very impressed. So she goes and talks to the Great Owl, who is a great owl. He reminds me of the bad guy owls in Cockadoodle, which I loved as a kid, and that's so embarrassing. And so he tells her to go and get help from the rats. He's like, the rats will be helpful. My best friend in 6th grade was my pet rat named Yogurt, and he was very helpful in being my best friend. I love when you go into the rat's lair and there's all of this, like they're generating energy, and like their purpose in life is to find a way to get their own energy without stealing from the humans, because they don't want to be stealing. And I think it's so lovely that they have so much purpose and so much drive, and they're little rats, and I love it. I love it. You don't have to be large to have purpose. And you can still have purpose if you're large too. Everyone can have purpose. Go rats. Mrs. Brisby asks the rats for help, and they're like, no, and then they're like, but she's Jonathan's wife. It's not like she's this hero that's like, I can do anything. No, she's fucking scared the whole time, and it's awesome to see her be like, but still, I'm still gonna do it because I need to do it, and that is my job. And I love that. I think it's such a good lesson to learn. And she's a fucking little mouse in an animated cartoon, and I was very inspired by her. You meet Nicodemus, who is the leader of the rats, and he's the old dog wizard that I saw in the beginning that you see throughout the movie. And you find out that NIMH was an animal testing site, and you find out that through the testing, the rats and mice became really intelligent, and they escaped. And the reason they were able to escape was because her husband, Jonathan, was small enough to get through and let them out. So he's like everyone's hero. And it's a really cool scene that you get to watch her watch all of this happen, because she's watching through this portal and she gets to see him being courageous. And you understand now what the amulet was, and that it only glows red if you're courageous. So then you see the rats moving Mrs. Brisby's house with Timmy in it, and you see Jenner cutting some strings and killing Nicodemus. Jenner tries to take her amulet, and they kill Jenner with like this dramatic, awesome fight scene between rats and swords. What's not to love? And then her house starts sinking in the mud with Timmy and all of her children inside. She's like sobbing, and it's really dramatic, and I thought that I was gonna have to flip everything over in my house because I thought all of them were gonna die, and it was really horrific. And then the amulet comes up through the mud, comes back to her. You see a flashback of Nicodemus saying, if you're courageous at heart, this amulet has a lot of power. And she grabs it, it burns her hands, and she still is holding on to it. She's so scared. And then the house comes up through the mud. And it's just amazing. It's such a good scene. I loved it so much. It was so sweet. It's Don Bluth, you motherfucker. So Mrs. Brisby saves them with a stone, and their house is moved, and Timmy lives, and Jeremy, the black crow, finds love, and she's probably named Jessica or Jess or Jenny, or she's just a blue jay. Seriously, what the fuck is up with all the J names in this movie? And then that's the end, and it was so good, and I enjoyed it so much. I grew up with Disney films, and I loved them so much, but honestly, like, some of the better animated movies were non-Disney because they were allowed to go darker than Disney was gonna go. One of my favorite movies of all time is Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's because I love Disney so much, but it was able to be a darker film. And this one was so like that. I love the idea that children watched this growing up. I think that's really cool that they were able to see an animated movie, something that they were really interested in, a great story, but also something really creepy and real. I think that's awesome. What do you think, Ike? Any last thoughts? That's exactly what I said. You can't just copy me. If you're gonna be the new star, you have to have your own original thoughts, Ike. Do you see this? Do you see what I have to work with?